Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's a new channel name all about racing in Britain for the British Grand Prix. Been a busy week on this island in the North Atlantic. A new Prime Minister in the last week. We've had Lewis Hamilton win the British Grand Prix last weekend and the European Championship final for England versus Spain tomorrow night. But before that, we have the British Grand Prix for WWR here at the fantastic Silverstone circuit. This circuit is 18 corners, 2 DRS zones, 8 corners to the left and 10 to the right. 5.891 kilometres and 3.66 miles in length. It's first established here in 1950. It's been remade for the game in F1 24, and the tyres for the season are C3 soft, C2 mediums and C1 hard tyre. On to the standings for this evening after last week's race in Kota. Onsu leading the championship on 43 points, 25 points for Atsu in second. Mr. Formula 1 is on 25 points as well. Ricky Mario in fourth on 19, 18 points for Lewis in fifth. The Williams are leading the championship on 59, 27 points for Red Bull, and the V-Carbs are on 25 points. Anything that stands out to you there, Lee, in the championship at all? I think somehow we've lost Lee for a second. Hopefully we'll get him back.
Yeah.
Oh, it just... Oh, was it me? Might have been me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, anyway, we're back. The standings are there. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. We'll get into the session. We already have a driver coming out on to the circuit. We have 19 drivers for you this evening in this full qualifying session and 50% race after that. 26 laps to run when we get into the proceedings there. Apologies if anyone can hear beep, beep, beep. I think that is Discord, so we will turn that down. I'm not sure how I'm going to get rid of that sound now, Lee. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it in a bit. So Thatcher's the first driver, and Lee, you were here a few weeks ago in RTG. If anyone's wondering, this was RTG TV. Unfortunately, RTG is no more, and we'll have a little bit of a chat about that first. Actually, a big thank you to all the Athens owners, drivers that have kept me and Lee entertained over the past couple of years. It was actually quite sad for us to not be commentating on RTG anymore. It's been a good two and a bit years that me and Lee have been doing it, so it was with a heavy heart, wasn't it, Lee, that it's gone now. Hopefully it may not be forever, they may come back, but with F1 24 being the way it is, drivers have struggled to turn up. Drivers have not been enjoying this game as much as previous iterations. But I'm sure Lee will second my comments here. It's thank you very much to people like Prof, Chuckle, Chuck, Aki, all of those that have sort of supported me and Lee throughout the last couple of years. And hopefully we'll get back racing with RTG sometime in the future. We will dearly miss it.
Yeah, definitely. It was quite upset, to be honest, and ended up not having the best of the day because of it. But yeah, it's, like you said, thanks to all the admins and owners of RTG, it's been a great time, to be honest. Like you said, keeping us entertained all that time, and it's been brilliant memories. Hopefully able to get back up and running, and hopefully in the near future. Like you said, this game it's like they've got worse since like what, 21, 20, something like that.
21, sort of 2019 to 21 was sort of peak F1 games, I feel. Obviously COVID kind of helped with that, I think, as well, with obviously people being at home, made it very popular. But the popularity has gone downhill a little bit ever since EA took over, and surprise, I think we could all call that gamers who play on games like FIFA, obviously now EAFC, even other games, I mean, like EA control things like Star Wars games, and they're alright, but they could be better. I mean, obviously they had some backlash off Battlefront 2, didn't they, when it came out in 2017 with all the microtransactions, and finding out if you wanted to play with the Darth Vader hero character you would have to play the game for like 30 hours to be able to get him. It was silly. Oh, we got a driver out, Lee. It's Thatchers who's lost it out of the final corner of Club onto the Hamilton straight, and he is out and will be starting 19th and last. Back to sort of today, Lee. I haven't seen Silverstone at all yet. But it looks, just from the look of things as a spectator, it looks fantastic. It looks so much better than it did. I can't really put my finger on why it looks better. I don't know if you found that a few weeks ago when you did do it in RTG. Obviously, I started talking about RTG, and that's where I sort of went off on a tangent. But it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does actually, to be honest. It's a shame that they couldn't do that for the gameplay. It would be better if they bring down the graphics maybe and enhance the gameplay, put it a bit more quality over quantity, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say definitely it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice. We're just seeing Tay coming around Stowe Corner down towards the Vale chicane and into the final corner of Club as he arounds the penultimate corner of turn 17 and now into the final corner as he crosses the line. It's fourth fastest for him at 128.652 for the Red Bull driver. His teammate was on provisional first place in Q1, but XD F1 Pro has snatched that away from him with a 127.3 as we wait for others to finish their laps for him. So yeah, from now on we'll have some more league racing on the channel as we always do. WWR had their own channel, which was actually my channel, my personal channel, which I let them have, but we've moved them over to what was formerly known as RTG TV, to now All About Racing, because that is really what it's all about on this channel. We'll be having some different leagues that are joining the channel on specific days. Could be an exciting future for the channel. Hopefully, as I said, we can get RTG back on the channel later on in the future, as 2Forum has invalidated his next lap lead as well, and a load of drivers out on the track already. Obviously almost got a full house today, but only 3 have yet to set a lap, as Bucko is just about to start his lap as he's just on his outlap in the V-Cup.
Yeah, and he's got, I think, that Red Bull just ahead of him. I wonder if they're going to be going into the pits or just being in the way on the lap. We'll be able to see, but they're see that light flashing away. Is that TT? Oh, he's going again. So TT's going again, and Bucko's going to have a bit of traffic there, just ahead of him. Hopefully it's going to be okay in the corners, and he's going to be able to get the downforce that he needs. He may be a bit far back for effect, but we'll see how things go.
Is the positives of the slipstream going to weigh out the negatives, or vice versa? There's a lot of straights on this circuit, but when you're in the early part of the lap here, in the twisty part of Sector 1, as he comes through Aintree after dealing with the loop, and now coming down the first of the 2 DRS straights, the Wellington straight into Brooklands and then Luffield and onto the old start-finish straight that was then, or now, called the old start-finish straight from 2011 onwards, and there's the old pit lane there on the right-hand side as we go up towards the formerly Turn 1 now Cops corner, which is turn number 9 now. And then into the mighty Maggots and Beckett's. We're going to hear a touch of a lift through here, Lee. Slight one through the left-hander of Beckett's there. And then the right, and then through Chapel in the Red Bull ahead has gone off the circuit. That must have been Tay that was ahead of him, as you said before, Lee, as he now goes down the hill, rising back up into Stowe Corner. And you can really see elevation changes on this circuit now compared to previous iterations before they've laser scanned this circuit on F124. You can really see it through the corners, and especially some corners feel like they've got some slight banking actually.
Yeah, noticing that now. I mean, like if you were to go back and look at the evolution of the games over the years, you actually see how different it was, and you could actually see the evolution of the track evolving through it with all the, like you said, all the bumps and you know, all the little bits that make it that character, you know.
Yeah. So we're just waiting to see 2-4 cross the line. He goes 9th fastest. He made a slight mistake in the final couple of corners at Vale and Club. We now wait for the final driver to set a lap out the 19 that's starting this evening. There were going to be 4 knocked out in Q1. There still technically is going to be 4 knocked out in Q1, but on the track right now only 3 can be knocked out in Q1 after Thatcher's had lost the car right here out of the final corner onto the Hamilton straight. Chuck Norris goes 6th fastest in the Kick Sauber.
Well, that's the thing right now. Thatcher's is actually sitting in P12 right now, so he is still good to get that 15th spot as of yet, but we could still see if Jay Chick, Archie Trucker, Bexon and Tiny are able to get a better lap in. I think Tiny's lap was on the intermediate, so I'll go and have a wee quick check of that. Yep, so all the ones from 14th, Tiny, Jay, Check, Archie and Trucker all set their times on the intermediate compound.
Oh, and a little bit of an intermediate championship which we used to have in Thursday. We may have to talk to Jay about that, Lee, and see if we can bring that across to us to WWR at the end of the season. Mr. Formula has retired and now left. We have got 20. For some reason he has left as we wait for Czech to start a lap on the proper tyre. Obviously this will go down to the wire at the end of the session. There's going to be so many quotes about it today, Lee, so I am sorry. Are we going to get a last gasp Stu Bellingham kind of overhead bicycle kick from a couple of weeks ago, or a Ollie Watkins from the other day against the Netherlands to put England into the final of the European Championships, which Lee is so happy about. He loves it.
Mon Espanol.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the other big question. I was going to say that in the intro. Obviously, interestingly, talking about the changes over the last couple of weeks in this country, obviously having Sir Keir Starmer becoming the new Prime Minister of the UK, Sir Lewis Hamilton taking the win last Sunday in Silverstone. After tomorrow, is it going to be a Sir Gareth Southgate, potentially? I think he would get it if they were to win. Touch wood, I'm not going to jinx it.
I really pray that Spain win, because that's the thing, we're never going to stop hearing about it, pretty much.
Oh, Czech there, just out of Cops Corner, has actually invalidated his time. It must have just gone off the circuit with just over 6 minutes to go in this Q1 session. Archie coming down towards the final couple of corners as Mr. Formula 1 is back in the session, but he's going to be starting 20th and last for the start of this race as Archie crosses the line. 5th fastest for him at 1:27.9.
Yep, so that makes Thatcher's down in 13th place at the moment. Bexon Boy is actually on the cusp of being eliminated as things stand right now. Look who's finishing a lap. We've got Tiny here, who looks like he's going to be going quicker than a 1:29. Yep, he does, and that bumps Thatcher down a little bit further, and is down in 14th actually right now.
Yeah, so he's actually very close to being knocked out in Q1, even though he's down in 15th, because that's technically the highest he is going to start in the race a bit later on. Tiny, of course, a regular on this channel, moving from RTG to WWR earlier this week, so we have got a familiar face on the channel on the racetrack this evening, the Scotsman of Tiny, who's just finished his lap up in 6th place. His Czech is on another flying lap here, pushing the overtake button. Of course, that's something new for F124, or brought back in, I suppose, because it's not so new. It was in games in around F1 2020, I think, the last time, where you could kind of change settings on the hybrid battery throughout the hot lap, which he's doing now, pressing the overtake button, draining all of the battery as he comes up into Stowe Corner. flowing over the hill, sunlight beaming through the visor as he goes through the right-hander, dipping into the compression and back up again into Club, and Vale first, and now Club to be dealt with in the final corner, crossing the line, goes third fastest.
Nice time from Czech there after invalidating his time. Yeah, we've got G, who's unfortunately invalidated his time also. He's just in sector 1 right now. A few other cars out on track at the moment. We've got Dirty Taffy on a lap. He's just started coming into Village. And now into the loop. Just brushing that curb on the inside and using the outside curb as much as possible through entry onto the Wellington straight now. That was a McLaren there, just on the edge. I think that was Czech there. Into Brooklands in the lower field now. And now straight on all the way down. And that'll be straight on all the way down to Maggots and Beckett's. Old turn 1. Is he going to go a bit wide? No, he just manages to keep it in there. Nicely done there from the Alpine driver now into Maggots and Beckett's now. Just hearing a wee ping down of the gear into Chapel. Now it's going to be DRS wide open, using that overtake button as well.
I was going to say, he's pretty much used it all up. The other thing I've noticed is a lot of them are pressing that button out of Chapel down the Hangers Straight as he comes into the final couple of corners here. Is it going to be an improvement on his time lead? Looks like it is going to be. Looks like it's going to be a 128.
Oh,
128.8, so it's 1.5 tenths up on his lap time.
so now the standard is right now that Thatcher's in 15th. So now it's only who is on a lap closest. We've got Bexenboy just coming through, Maggots and Beckett's right now. Going right out wide through Chapel, DRS open all the way down to Stoke, down this hanger straight. Brushing that curb on the inside, on the outside going in, and using a little bit of curb on the outside there, on the exit into Vale, sorry. Oh, bit too much on the throttle there on the exit. And he's only good enough 131.660. He's about 1.3 seconds off his previous time. Jay now coming up to the final 3 corners. Through Club and Vale now. Let's see what time he's going to be able to do. Is he going to be able to get out that elimination zone? Yes, he is. It goes P8 with a 121.528. Trucker up next to Scotsman at 129.537. Just missing out.
Yeah, that's not going to be good enough for him. With just over a minute to go, he'd have to go again, which he is actually. He's got a full battery to deploy, as Bexenboy is on a lap as well. Wesley, he's going to be out in Q1. He can't go any faster. He can't get out and get round to the start-finish line in time. So we're just waiting for... Who is it really now? They were looking at Trucker, Forum, Lewis as well. He might be in the spot of bother as well. And so is Operator, who is in the pits and watching on as well, is Lewis. Comes up towards the line. There have been some updates to F124 in the last few days, which means, well, the updates mean that the curbs are not as friendly as they used to be. You used to be able to ride over the sausage curbs with no consequence to the car, and now it's a completely different story. So it's something that the drivers, I think, are going to have to get used to. Is Bexenboy crosses the line, and he is down on his time by over a second, and he hasn't got the battery to go again. The checkered flag is now out, and it's between Trucker and Forum, I think, at this point, Lee, to try and save
Trucker
themselves.
invalidated.
Oh yeah, sorry, Trucker's
Trucker invalidated.
So I think that's
going
it.
into Maggots. Yep, that's it for Q1. I think we've just got a couple of drivers. I think we've got Tate is on a lap in that Red Bull, but he's 6/10 up on his time. So we'll be able to see how things are going to go as you're going to dive into the pits. Nope, straight to the line now. Ravel, and now we go through club and then to the line, see what time he's going to be putting. It's going to be a 127.896, good enough for 6th place there. Just behind Williams and Mel Dave by just over a tenth. So that'll be the end of the first of 3 qualifying sessions. Just waiting for a few of the drivers to get back around. Vexen Boy is actually still trying, but he's been validated, unfortunately. And now just going straight to the line, truck up into the pits. So what he's going to do, he's going to jump into the pits also. Fortunately enough, Ferrari garage is actually quite close. So we've got to get in and done quite quickly.
Sorry about that, I was just away for a second there. So yeah, that's it, isn't it, Lee? So we're just waiting for Lewis to be back into the garage.
Yep, we're just waiting for that Ferrari to get back in, and then we could get on, get ready to start the second of the 3 qualifying sessions. And then we'll go back into the garage. Here goes XD Pro getting the fastest lap there, only by 18 thousandths of a second over Fisher's in that Red Bull, who came second. Then we've got Czech in the McLaren third, fourth Archie, fifth Mel Dave, sixth was Tate, then we had Ryan there, and 2 foremen, seventh and eighth. 9th was Tiny Lewis in 10th, 11th Jay Buckle, 13th, Buckle 12th, 13th Chuck Norris, Dirty Taffy in 14th, and Operator in 15th, and they will be moving on to the next stage of qualifying. The ones who will not and will be starting in the respective places will be Trucker in 16th, 17th for Thatcher, Wezzy in 18th, Vexen Boy in 19th, and Mr. Formula 1, who did join a little bit late, and he will be starting from the back of the grid. Now moving on to the second of 3 qualifying sessions, 15 minutes, 15 drivers, who is going to be moving on to Q3. We'll be able to find out in about 16 minutes time. I think it is new. I'm unsure if I've actually seen that or not at the... Yeah, it does seem like that.
I just realised no one could hear me then. Ignore me. Or ignore Lee, he wasn't talking to himself, he was talking to me. I was just saying that F1 Pro came out. I was just talking to myself for a good like 10-15 seconds, or maybe even more.
Is this a bit like karma for like the first time we done commentary? For like the first like couple of weeks.
What happened then?
Where you couldn't hear me and it was like you were speaking to yourself.
Oh. Maybe. So yeah,
That was like 4 years ago.
F1 Pro will be the first driver to set a lap, and then 2 4 behind him, and then WWRJ after that, Williams, Haas, and then Sauber in that order as F1 Pro comes round the final corner of Club and starts his first lap in Q2. And take it away, Lee.
Yep, XD Pro first on his lap, going through Village and Farm. They're now into Abbey of turn 3. Now, oh! Got a bit of oversteer there and went right wide there.
Yeah, and he's going to have to let the other cars go through because he's not going to go quicker. He can recharge the battery, and the McLaren behind as well going slowly because Jay is coming up and past him on his flying lap, and see what he does in the first sector. It's a 28 dead in that first sector for Jay. Now he comes through the Laffield corner, the corner that never ends, turning right-handed, and you've got to be ever so patient to put your foot on that loud pedal as we go out of Woodcut and down the old start-finish straight into Cops Corner, where we've seen some fantastic overtakes in the past and some controversial moves in the past as well. Obviously, first one that comes to mind is 2021 with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, where Max ended up in the Tech Pro barrier on the left-hand side of Cops Corner, and ended up in hospital that day as well. He was alright, but it was a big sort of 55 to 60 G impact when he hit the wall. As we now come through the final couple of corners with 2 for him, and then we'll see what Jay can do after that. As 2 for him on the PC platform crosses the line, it's a 128.7, and then Jay on his Xbox does a 28.4, 3/10 faster. Who is the next car up? It's Fisher on the PlayStation, and it's a 27.6 for him. And F1 Pro obviously went wide, and he wasn't able to get a decent lap in, as we've got Dirty Taff off on the infield at Club Corner, and it's a Red Bull 1-2 in Q2 at the moment, with Tay Mandem in second place as we wait for other drivers to come through. Ryanair in third, as we see Mel Day cross the line. He's 7th fastest at 129.7 for him, and we just wait for a few others. The 2 McLarens who are just finishing their laps, and operator actually just starting a lap, he invalidated the one previous. We'll stay with check for the rest of the lap as he comes through Maggots, the left right, and then the left right of Beckett's, and finishing up that section with the left-hander at Chapel and on to the Hangar straight.
Yep, XD Pro on a lap after messing up that first one out of Village? No, Abbey. I forget. What's turn time? Easy Peeps. Village, yeah. Easy Peeps have completely forgotten for some reason. Oh!
Lovely time there from Check at 27.2.
Oh! And XD Pro invalidates on the exit of Stowe. Oh, that's not good. Jump back in the pits to go and get most likely a fresh set of rubber. Operator coming through Madison Beckett's, and now Chapel going quite slow, not able to. Well, he's not getting his full foot down there as he was coming through the S section of Maggots and Beckett's. He was taking it quite gentle on that load pedal, like you said, but we'll see if he's going to be able to get a top 10. Yes, he is. Just a 129.638. Half a second off of 10th place. Tiny goes second in that Mercedes, a 127.326. And Archie actually done a lap on the mediums and done a 132.234. I've just noticed that there. Chuck Norris just starting his lap in that silver. Now coming to Abbey, and then just up a slight little hill here and through Farm, and now Village is not going to be making the same mistake F1 Pro did. Right through the loop and into Aintree, flat out there, all the way down to Brooklands with the DRS wide open. Now into this, it's like a awkward for braking and trying to get the car turned in to Brooklands, and like you said, the corner that never ends, Laffield, and past the woodcut. It's just a flat out little kink. But like turn 2 in Austria, now into Cops. And it was like that tail end of that car was trying to overtake the front there.
Yes.
And Maggots.
Sorry? It certainly was. As he goes through the S's of Maggots, Beckett and Chapel, and down the back straight, hanger straight, and moving over to the left to take Cox, which is Stowe, which is a right-handed corner down into that compression where the pit lane entry is, and then braking in a straight line for the final few corners. Of course, we saw the other day as well, just over the last weekend, some pictures of the new Brad Pitt F1 movie where we saw quite a few shots from around Silverstone as well with the fake, obviously fictitious F1 team Apex GP. It does look very good, made by the same director that made Top Gun Maverick, which I watched earlier on this year.
Yeah, not really a fan. I mean, to be honest, I'm really sceptical about this new movie, to be honest. Just with it being, it just sounds a bit more like a dramatised, you know, just one of these shows where, films where it just puts like a fictitious character into like real life sort of sports, and a lot of the time I'm not really a fan of it, but then again it could surprise me. You never know. Hopefully it does turn out to be good and I am wrong, but we're going to have to wait and see. But right now XD Pro on a lap just came out of Cop's corner, now into Maggots and Beckett's, brushing over them sausage curbs like they're nothing there.
Maybe the update doesn't apply to the Williams.
Yeah, I guess so. Now down the hanger straight into Stowe, over to the left hand side, and got a bit of understeer there. Not able to hit that apex at Stowe. Ooh, looked like a little bit of a walk up there, was it? Unsure. But to the line now, 127.626.
It's looking quite close at the front. I think the update might have balanced the field of play a little bit here, as Dirty Taff is on a fast lap at the moment, but he hasn't got very much battery left to use. Only around 10 to 15% left, as the car is quite skittish into the left-hander at Chapel, and he is down this time, but he must have gone slowly in the final sector because his lap time's at 1:43.6, and that is a way off the pace, around 15 seconds, so he must have lost all that time in the final sector as he comes through the final three corners, with the penultimate one done and dusted, and the final one to deal with and done, and it's 12 fastest, 1:28, and there you go, he's 14 seconds up on his previous lap time, almost 15 seconds up.
Yeah, his previous time wasn't the best with that spin at Cobb and Vale, but unfortunate there. But having a look, he's not going to be able to get through. He's going to have to make another time. Dirty Taffy is. Two forums on an outlap right now.
I believe Archie is on a lap at the moment as he comes down the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner. Named Stowe Corner because only a mile or two a bit further in a straight line after leaving the hanger straight is an old school called Stowe Primary School, and that's where the name comes from. As we go around the final couple of corners and into Club, which is named after the club, the British Racing, I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head, the BRA, isn't it? Big British Racing Association, I think, and it's kind of, that's what it's named after, and then on to the Hamilton Straight, of course, named after Lewis Hamilton, with now 9 victories at the Silverstone circuit after last weekend's race. Who have we got on laps at the moment? No one, I don't think. It's very quiet on the western front.
Yeah, but it's actually quite quiet, I will say right now. Lewis on an outlap just in sector 1. two for him just about to start a lap, just coming through Vale there and now into Club. So two for him in the Haas. He's currently sitting in 13th place with a 128.797. Let's see if he's going to be able to do any better as he comes through Abbey and Village up this slight incline and then going into Village around the loop, keeping it in as tight as he can there.
Yeah, and then open up the steering to go down the Wellington Straight after leaving Aintree as he weaves around on the circuit. So this must be an outlap, a second outlap for him, because he definitely won't be going any faster by changing direction like that when he should be going in a straight line with the steering wheel dead straight in front of him. So he's just prepping for his final lap in Q2, and I feel like this is going to get very, very closely to get into that top 10, around sort of 8 to 12. I can imagine there can only be a couple of tenths in it, potentially, as Jay starts a lap here, down in 10th at the moment, right on the brink as Archie retires from the session. With that 127.4, we're a second down from that in 10th place with Jay, who you're watching at the moment, just coming through the loop, and then Aintree.
Now down into Brooklands and then Lawfield. He's actually up on his time by 2 tenths going into Sector 2. So we'll see how things are going to be able to pan out. Is he going to be able to improve? Even if he improves by just a tenth, that'll bump him up to 8th place. It's not far off, so that'll be able to give him a little bit of security. But now he's going through Sector 2, which is Maggots and Beckett's right now. We'll see what his time's going to be coming out of Sector 2. He's almost half a second up on his time, so that would be able to put him possibly up to 7th. If he keeps on going, he could even get into the top 5 if he still continues on the way that he has been. Now into Vale and then Club. Just seen a car just ahead of him locking up. I wonder if that would be put him off a little going into Vale. We'll soon see 8th place at 127.994, just a half, just 500ths off of Ryanair there in 7th place, who is currently on a lap right now, just going through Cops Corner. And who was that? Was that Tate that just went up? Yes, Tate in 6th with 127.739. We've got Mel Dave now coming through Vale and Club, the final little left, right before you end up hitting that line, and he goes P8 with a 127.770. That puts Jay on the cusp of being eliminated right now.
Yeah, it's very close for him. It's a squeaky bum time moment for Jay, and he, I think, is now out. I don't think he's on a lap at the moment. The checker flag has fallen as Fisher goes even faster with a 126.7. Is Operator going to get out of the bottom 5? No, he's not. He's into the pit lane, one of the longest pit lanes on the calendar, as F1 Pro crosses the line. He's up on his time. He goes 3rd fastest. And only one driver into the 126s. The first time we've seen a driver into the 126s. And Tiny coming into the final couple of corners in the Merc as he rounds the final corner of Club. He's safe and into Q3 for his first outing in WWR, and he goes onto the front row and a 127 dead, almost into those 126s.
Yeah, we've only managed to get one driver up to now. Fisher's 126.744. Quite a belter of a time there. Just waiting on Jay to get back around. He's just cruising for the time being. I think he's out of fuel actually. Yep, he's full throttle right now and the car is barely moving.
Yeah, he's into the pit, so we now confirm our bottom 5, and somehow he's taken a detour onto the grass and almost hit the Tech Pro barrier, and he retires from the session, and that's a nice quick end to Q2.
Yeah, nice and quick there. Nicely done from him there. And now we're going to be moving on to the 3rd and final stage of qualifying. And there we see Fisher's getting that fastest lap there at 126.774. Tiny in second place, then one check. XD Pro, Archie Ryan there. Then Tate in 7th, 8th is Lewis. Then we had Mel Dave in 9th, 2-4 in 10th. And the ones who will be
sorry,
getting
Lee,
eliminated.
I haven't actually got the screen up yet. It's taking me a while. But
Jay is in 11th. 12th is Operator. 13th Chuck Norris. Dirty Taffy. 14th and 15th for Buckle. So they will be all starting in their respective places that they got, with the top 10 for 12 minutes to battle out to find out who's going to be getting that pole position and who's going to be closest to turn 1 come the start of the race.
Yeah, which will be in around 20 minutes or so time. If anyone's new to WWR, which I'm sure you are, because there'll be a load of people watching this or just popping in and out who are used to watching RTG, there will be around a 5-minute break between qualifying and the race. We'll just have a be right back screen, so just stick around or go and get yourself a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you fancy, maybe even a beer, but probably a lot of you are saving that for tomorrow night. There should be some weary heads on Monday morning. Now, the top 10 shoots out, as Lee said, 12 minutes or less than that now to go, as we see drivers exiting their garages onto the pit lane and out onto the circuit. It's going to be a Williams first. We do have 2 Williams in Q3, 2 Red Bulls, and 2 Haas cars as well. So a few teammates around in Q3 that's got all the way to the end of qualifying, and we now have F1 Pro out on the track, and he was the first one out in Q2, Lee, of course, when we went to ride on board with him, where he locked up around at this point of the circuit at the loop and lost his lap.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate with that, but let's hope he's going to be able to keep it together this time and possibly end up putting in a stellar lap time. I mean, that's the one thing you don't want to do, is be making mistakes like that, especially in Q3, where it is on for pole position, and of course there is a lot less time for you to be able to mess up and being allowed that little bit of leeway. So you don't want to be making mistakes here, because it's only like 2 laps, 3 if you're lucky, and it's only
not around this place. You're not going to get 3 laps. Somewhere like Austria, where we've been a couple of weeks ago, we saw a couple of 3 lappers. I don't think you'd see it here.
Not proper 3 lappers. No. I would say, like, if you mess up a flying lap, then you just dive right into the pits, get a new set of tyres on, refuel, bang, out you go again.
Yeah.
But right now...
So, just before F1 Pro starts his lap, or as he starts his lap, obviously, not a new channel to WWR. You're watching the British Grand Prix here. It's the 3rd round of their season. If you want to see the other couple of rounds, or the first round, because we didn't do a stream for round 2, check them out on the Worldwide Racing channel, which will change anyway. I'll upload the first video onto this channel a bit later on, but subscribe to the channel. We can get to 400 subscribers, Lee, by the end of the day, can't we? It's 396 as it stands, so hopefully by the close of play today we'll be up to 400 subscribers, so that would be much appreciated from some of the WWR guys, as we see F1 Pro Lee lock up into Brooklands there, and that would have lost him a bit of lap time as he comes out of Luffield.
Yep, definitely. Brooklands is not a corner you want to be locking up on, as it does put you a bit offline for going through Luffield. It's a bit like Maggotts and Beckett. You don't want to be messing up the very first one, as that puts you right out of the rhythm of getting the car right and having the right speed.
As he comes down the hanger straight, he will be the man that sets the benchmark. He will have the provisional pole time, as long as he can stay within those white lines, with only less than a handful of corners to go. Stowe dealt with. Now 3 more corners to go, the left and then the double right, as we finish Vale and into Club. As we finish over the line, the benchmark time is a 126.5. That's a very, very nice time from him there. My predicted pole time here was a 126.4. As we see, the Red Bull and F1 Pro very close into the first couple of corners. We've got a 1:26.4 as predicted pole time here at Silverstone, and we're only a tenth off my predicted pole, Lee, as we wait for Archie to round the final corner in the Alpine, the sole Alpine today, the Endstone outfit, around 20 to 25 miles away from Silverstone in a westerly direction, very close to Mr. Clarkson's farm of Diddley Squat Farm, and as he keeps saying, it's his local F1 team, as he likes to call it. I didn't know if you knew. He decided to call the Grand Prix last weekend the Hawkston Grand Prix, obviously named after his lager that he makes on his farm as well, but that's his local team that he supports quite passionately by the looks of things in the last couple of years. Alpine only a couple of miles down the road, as I said, from his farm. Ismail Dave now comes into the final few corners and around club to finish, and go sixth fastest for him.
Yep, it's nice times there from the top three. We're very close from everyone having a wee look. So the top four are only 6 tenths, top three are only 2 tenths, quarter of a second, just under quarter of a second between each other. So very close between them. And of course, Tiny not managing to get up there, 6 tenths off of XD Pro. But this will be the time where everyone is now just going to be cool and jump back into the pits, get refueled and get fresh tyres on. And then they'll most likely be waiting a couple of minutes before they come back out again.
Yeah, we've still got 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock as we have the yellow flags flashing away in the top left corner of your screen. But as you said, it's going to be a few minutes wait. We've got a week break at the moment in F1, of course. They probably as well, Lee.
Oh, Mel Dave round.
Oh yeah, Chapel. Yeah, we've got a week off this week, and I think they probably did that strategically as well, didn't they? Because of the Euro final this week as well, so they didn't want to sort of overlap that. But I think next week we're back for Belgium, aren't we, for the next round? I believe.
Hungary, then it's Belgium a week later.
Then Belgium, yeah.
Yep, so looking forward to that actually. It's as always a tight track, but it has got some has had some eventful moments in the past. Looking on at Valtteri Bottas there.
Oh, well, when he decided he wanted to become a bowling ball.
Yeah. That was it was like something you'd see on like an unranked lobby or something.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And it kind of feels like it was like, Toto, watch this. Like it was almost like that. We have a car actually coming out, Lee. So we said we'd have this few minute break, a few minutes of quiet on the track, but one of the drivers deciding to actually come out onto the track, and that is to form in the Haas. The other thing I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, the other thing they've done with the update, they finally changed the colour on the track map for Haas from red to white, which is lovely, because it was the same colour red as Ferrari, which it got very confusing as well. And I did think it was strange that they were red just because their logo's red, but the majority of their car is white, so that makes it a little bit easier for us as well. Just a shame there's so much blue.
Yeah, I know, like it bugs me, to be honest. I mean,
Like
the Williams
Sorry.
and the Red Bull are similar, and then the RB.
Yeah, and the other one we've always said, just make Alpine pink. It'd make it so much easier.
I was literally about to say that just there. Definitely make Alpine pink, and it'll be easier to spot.
Because Mercedes aren't black or silvery colour, are they? They're the teal of the Petronas sponsor. So it would make sense. They've always been teal with the Petronas sponsor, so just do it for Alpine as well. It'll make our lives much easier. I mean, it's nice as well that nowadays we have the logo to the left-hand side of the screen as well. That's only been in the last couple of years. That made it a lot harder as well, just to remember what driver was in what car. But yeah, the blues are a bit too much. It's very hard to distinguish, as you said, especially between the V-Cubs and the Red Bull. So, 2-4 pretty much got a track all to himself. He's got a Red Bull ahead of him on the circuit, and 2-4 actually doing another outlap, mate.
Yep, he's just doing another outlap, and I think that's going to be to drain some fuel. He's just doing a really slow lap, it appears. and he's going to have to go a bit slower if he's wanting to get it done before the checkered flag, because of course he isn't going to have that fuel to run another lap to come into the pits, depending on how he's done. But of course, then again, he's going to end up lossing out on the tyres if he ends up having to do another lap to come back around.
Of course, the other thing, yes, he may save on fuel. It's Dirty Taft left the session. Hopefully he'll get back in. I said we do have a little bit of a break between Q3 and the race. No formation lap, is there, Lee, in WWR either?
I think there is.
Let's just... Can you actually... I'll let you double check that, whether it is or not. I
I'll
just
go
wanted
check.
to make sure it does. 2 for him, though. He said doing a double out lap. Yes, he might be able to burn off fuel, but it's weighing up whether using that sort of prime bit of grip on the face of the tyre is better than draining down the fuel and having a slightly lighter car. But he's decided to go this route, as Fisher is on a lap and the first one who will finish a lap, and he won't see the checkered flag. He'll finish his lap just before there as he goes through the loop. Nicely done there, using all of the curb to his advantage again with the aim tree, left-hander, and now down the Wellington straight into Brooklands, staying in the middle of the circuit to take the line of least resistance, to use the right-hander of Luffield as best he can as we go down, as I said before, the old start-finish straight, the old turn 1, Cops Corner. And have we got an answer, Lee? I can't remember. Is it formation lap on or off?
The formation lap is actually off.
Yeah, I thought it was. So iFishing now coming down the start-finish and into... the start-finish down the back straight into Stowe Corner. As I said, he's going to be the first one to set a lap in the final running of the race, of the qualifying. All my words jumbled up here, into the final 2 corners of the lap, club corner, and then you see the line, and it's front row at the moment for iFisher as other drivers are starting their final attempts, and iFisher goes off the circuit, I think, just to get out of the way of other drivers coming through, as Tiny is now going to be the last one to cross the line at the end, as we now wait for 2-4, and we did those 2 out laps to drain the fuel. Let's see if it did him good. It's 8th fastest, and he was 3/10 up on his lap. F1 Pro provisional pole position, a 1:26.4, the predicted pole time for today, as Mal Dave's the first one to see the checkered flag. He's going to be 6th fastest, and we now wait for the next car, which will be Archie, and then following him will be Tay-Tay. So we'll keep an eye on Tay-Tay's time as well once this lap is done and dusted from Archie, and he goes over the sausage curb, Lee, and completely loses the car off into the gravel, and he is out of qualifying at the very end of the session. As we wait for Tay-Tay to come across the line, he will ignore the yellow flags, which he can do in league racing. Luckily for him, green flags flying now. It's 4th fastest. It's going to be a second row start potentially for him. We now wait for Czech, and Lewis in the Scuderia is not too far behind him as Czech crosses the line now. It's 3rd fastest for him still. Here comes Lewis. It's 8th fastest for him as we wait for the next car. It's the Mercedes of Tiny, and I think this is going to be the last lap completed. Is Tiny going to make it a pole position? He isn't. It's a second row start for him, and it looks like F1 Pro is on pole in Silverstone.
Yep, nicely done there from XD Pro, only managing to get that by just under a 10th there, and Czech just being just over a 10 behind XD Pro there, so really close between them 3 at the top.
And we'll see it quickly one more time, Lee. That predicted pole position time was a 1:26.4 by me. Oh, we got it spot on.
Perfect there. Nicely done.
And I took that from RTG's race a few weeks ago. That's how I was able to know that it wasn't blocked anymore. So I sort of took it from there. But yeah, very close time to RTG in their Thursday tier a few weeks ago. Yeah, so very, very similar pole time. From there to here, F1 Pro on pole. It's a Williams pole position with a Red Bull alongside him.
Yep, and that is the end of Q3. And the XD Pro belter of a time there at 126.487 and 88 thousandths of a second. Behind him was Fisher's in that Red Bull, 126.575. Then we had Czech, who was 300ths of a second off of Fisher's in third. Then we had Tiny in the Mercedes, the other Red Bull of Tate, and the other Williams. In sixth of Mel Dave, Ryan Air in the Haas, in seventh Lewis, eighth in that Ferrari. Haas for 2 Form in ninth, and the Alpine of Archie in 10th. So now we're going to be having a wee break in a moment, and in this break I think it's a perfect time to say please like, share, subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And the sky is actually looking a little bit dark there.
It is indeed. We'll be
Could
back.
we see a little rain?
We may do. We'll see you back in a few minutes' time. And we're back, so we should be getting going in around 30 seconds to a minute's time. Lee, very quickly, have a look at the tyres. It's a nice mix-up here, Lee, of tyres. There's a majority of the drivers are on the soft tyres, actually, which I haven't seen in F124 so far. And then the next best is, or on the next most popular, is the mediums, and then the hards after that. There's only a couple of drivers on the hard tyres. We've got a short run down towards turn 1 here, which of course is Abbey into the fast right-hander, no braking required into turn 1. You might see a dab of the brakes into turn 1, of course, with a full 20 drivers diving down into that corner. No formation lap in WWR, so we'll get going straight away. Unfortunately, they get no warning at all, so we've got to be on our tiptoes and ready to get started with the start of the race. 26 laps to race around this Silverstone circuit, and it always throws up great racing. One of the best tracks on the calendar for wheel-to-wheel action.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do agree. This track's got so many overtaking opportunities at it, and
here we go. 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. It's a Williams and a Red Bull on the front row, and we're away here in Silverstone for the third round of the season of WWR, and F1 Pro gets a good launch away, and he leads into turn 1 as we got the McLaren of Czech trying to fight through turn 2 as we go into Village, and Fisher looking up the inside there on the race leader as we go into the loop and on towards Aintree. We've got drivers off in the background there, Jay and operator down right at the very back. Slipstream required down this straight to try and get an overtake done into Brooklands, but the top 3 all stay the same. At the moment, Czech has moved up into second place after the start. It then is Tiny in 4th, Tate in 5th, 6th is Maldave, right in there 7th, 8th is Lewis, 2 for him is 9th, and Dirty Taff rounds out the top 10, and he has got a bit of a gap to Chuck Norris behind in 11th place as we go down into Maggots and Beckett. Most of the drivers have been well behaved, but there has been some collisions at the back, Lee.
Yep, I just noticed there, Buckle just got a little tap there from Bexon Boy as he was going through Cops there. And, oh, the Silver J there went around the outside going into Beckett's there.
And overtakes happening towards the front as well. Sorry, Fisher trying to defend his position from Tiny, who's trying to lunge up the inside at the Vale as he gets on the outside at the penultimate corner and then tries to switch back through Club. DRS enabled on lap 2 as we go through the Abbey curve as F1 Pro takes the fastest lap on the first lap, and Bexon has already got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Is Jay looking feisty for an overtake here, going down into turn 3 of Village, and it's up the inside for the Sauber driver, and he's up into 14th place.
Oh, and
there's a change for the lead, maybe, Lee, as well, as Czech lunges to the inside at Brooklands, but he didn't have the momentum on the inside and has to slot back into that second place position following the rear wing on F1 Pro's Williams.
Yeah, I don't think Archie is here right now. Trucker going up the inside of Chuck Norris. This could be a side-by-side going into Cops here, but is he going to go for it? He's having a wee look there. Puts Chuck Norris off a little, but still manages to keep that 12th position over the Mercedes there. Up right now, Thatcher's actually making good on his qualifying, unfortunately.
And here we go, Lee.
Crashing out.
Czech going for that race lead into Stowe Corner. DRS helping him along, but F1 Pro again defending on the outside as Tate goes wide at Stowe Corner, and his teammate Fisher on the offensive here. And now the switcheroo from the Red Bull driver, and he's up into second place, coming out of Club Corner and onto the Hamilton straight as they go side by side through Abbey here. And Czech gets back through into second place. That was a ballsy move from the McLaren driver, and Tiny trying to pick up the pieces here and trying to get a third place position as they go through the loop. He's side by side with the Williams and Mal Dave as they exit and onto Aintree and onto the Wellington straight as Tate goes pushed off the circuit, and Tiny looking to the left hand side, right hand side of your screen to see if he can make a move on Fisher. Very, very feistily in the first couple of laps here.
Yep, Trucker there managing to use that DRS to get past Chuck Norris there. And now he's going to be looking on at Thatcher's just ahead of him. Thatcher's up 6 places since the start, and Trucker up 4. We've seen a few drivers up a good few places there, so nicely done from them. They are doing quite well. Tate Mandem on the rear of Mel Dave, just over a tenth, less than a tenth, as they're going through Maggots and Beckett's. He is desperate to get past that Williams there, and now he's going to do it. Oh, the rear, the slipstream working to his advantage there, and now around the outside of Stoll, goes off the track a little. Is he going to manage to keep that position? Nope, he gives the position back. Nice battle in there for that 5th position. Czech putting in the fastest lap at 1:30.040. So he is definitely on the charge and looking for that overtake on XD Pro, just waiting for that mistake that Williams could make. Let's see if he's going to be able to get him to force a mistake as they're going to be going down into Brooklands and Luffield. Is he going to be going for it anytime soon? It doesn't look like it. He's not pressing that overtake button, he's just saving that battery for now.
Yeah, and Trucker going for an overtake here in that midfield fight with the Sauber of Jay. He's trying to go the long way round here. If he can hold on to it, he will have the inside line because it's a right-hander at Luffield. He has got that inside line, pushes Jay further offline, getting onto the dirty marbles, and he is moved up into 12th place and got the Aston Martin of Thatcher's ahead of him, who he will be thinking about a move and where he can take that 11th place from him. But look at this train day at the front, and I'm a big supporter of DRS enabled on the second lap. It brings racing closer together as Czech goes through into the lead, and Fisher trying to go up the inside as well. He becomes unbalanced in the braking zone as Tiny goes off the circuit as well and locks up for good measure into Vale as well. And now the fight is on, going on to lap 5. And it's looking like an excellent start to the race so far. Fastest lap for Czech, who is leading on lap 5, and F1 Pro right on the coattails of the McLaren driver as they go into turn 3 and onto the loop now, where we're going to be flat to the floor towards Brooklyn Corner.
Yep, Jay trying to throw up the inside of Village there on Trucker. Oh, and the touch wheels just coming into the loop. I think Jay was expecting him to just turn in that a little bit earlier, but he didn't. And is he going to be going for a move? Yep, he's pressing that overtake button, moving to the left-hand side in order to get that inside line going into Brooklands. And he gets that 12th position, nicely done. And is he going to be going for Thatcher's anytime soon? He could be going for it on the hanger straight in just a few corners after Klops and Maggots and Beckett's. Having a look further up though, XD Pro
so
right on the coattails of Czech.
It's so close at the front.
Oh!
And we got the first time penalty in the top 10. F1 Pro taking back the lead where he lost it on lap 4 as we go and exit Stowe Corner. He's back up into the lead, and Tate trying to go the long way round at Vale, and he does get the move done. And is he going to overtake his teammate who's ghosting as well? They're going to be side by side into the final corner here, and who is going to come out on top when we exit the start finish straight through? Abbey, it is I Fisher.
Yep, always fun when you see two teammates battling it out, and right now we've got two Red Bulls right next to each other and two Haas's just behind that. So we could see some fun battles that are from them. But right now, Czech making a move for the lead of this Grand Prix, using that DRS effectively, going down into Brooklands. A little bit of a shake there on the exit of Brooklands there.
Yeah.
And he manages to keep it under control though and maintain that lead.
And the two Hasses, like you said, it's excellent to see teammates fighting, and there's a big fight in the midfield here between a Haas, two Hasses, a Red Bull and a Ferrari as they go through Copse Corner and down towards the mighty left, and right again of Maggots and Beckett's as they enter that section now, and it's up and down kind of section as well. Even though this is an old World War II airfield, there is still some elevation changes on this circuit. It's F1 Pro, Tiny and Checkle fighting for position. Tiny almost losing the car there. I don't know how he was able to keep that car facing in the right direction there, but he was able to do so, and he lives to fight another day. Lewis getting past Ryanair, who is into the pit lane, and it's a long old slog down this pit lane, Lee.
Yep, it just feels like it never ends, but it gives you it's only 22-second the time loss, so it's not too bad, even though you feel like you're just trundling down so slowly with it being such a slow pit lane. But of course you do end up cutting out the last three corners technically, and then across the line you go through the pit lane. But right now, oh, who's that we just seen off? Dirty Taffy. Dirty Taffy is off again. He went and spun out in Q2, and now he's done it again at the loop. So now he's down into 15th position. Oh, and Trucker making an excellent move on the Aston Martin of Thatcher's there, managing to get the overtake done on the exit of Luffield. Nicely done from that Mercedes man right there. We'll see how things are going to go for him. He's got an 8/10 of a gap to Jay ahead, who he's been battling with over the past few laps.
And here goes to Forum to the outside of the Red Bull of Tay. Maybe a bit too far to the outside. He might lose momentum there, and Tay can fight back here into the Vale chicane. But no, Lewis thought about it there, or did he just miss his braking zone slightly and try to take some form of evasive action? But luckily, he didn't collect anyone with that late braking as they go down into turn one of Abbey and then through the left of Farm and hard on the brakes into turn three of Village, a good place where you can get some overtaking done. And we go back towards the front, this big queue of cars, this 4-car train fighting for the lead. Fisher now looking to the inside of Czech, and he goes up the inside of Czech and takes that second place away from him. But just remember, he has that 3-second time penalty to his name that will stick with him all the way to the checkered flag, as we now power out of Woodcut and down Tiny. The old Hanger Straight. And Tiny looking feisty here to the outside at Copse Corner. Is he going to make that work? No, not just yet. He's still alongside him though. They're going to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. He certainly thought about it, but has to stay back in 4th place and fight at another place on the racetrack, and that might be down this next DRS straight down towards Stowe Corner as the two leaders switching places once again, and Tiny still behind Czech as they go through Stowe Corner. Tay on the inside of Stowe as well, but to Forum not giving it up, defending on the outside. We'll have the inside at Vale. Does he back out of it? Does he not? He half-heartedly went for it there, but he has to hold back for now as we go on to lap 9, sorry.
Yeah, excellent battling here, and like I said earlier on, this is always a track where there's overtaking opportunities at every single corner almost. So it's one of these tracks that always provides great action. We've got the top 5 all right next to each other. They're only separated by just over a second, and right now XD Pro going for the move, using that DRS into Brooklands, gets onto the sausage curbs and loses the speed and the momentum that he was needing in order to maintain that lead, and now he has to settle back into 2nd place again.
Tiny once again on the inside, side by side through Copse Corner, and again he hasn't prevailed. He has to stay behind. That's 2 chances he's had and 2 chances he hasn't taken just yet. And on to the hangar straight. DRS open, giving you around 20 kilometers an hour of extra speed, 12 miles an hour in Imperial, especially if we're on this this island where we do use miles per hour. And F1 Pro and Fisher side by side into the Vale chicane, and the Red Bull, has the advantage into the corner, but on the exit around Club on the outside. Did he go off the track there though, Lee?
I'm unsure. I was on board with XD Pro, but I noticed there was a little bit of contact there going into Club just at the apex. So yes, it's a bit. But he still missed.
Yellow flags flying. Is that going to cause a safety car? I don't think it is. I'm not sure who it's for, as Tay-Tay's in the pit lane and Fisher just misjudging his braking there. But this battle at the front, Lee, this top 5, this is absolutely fantastic at the moment as we go up through Woodcut and down the old start-finish straight. Is Tiny going to give it another go, Lee, into Cop's corner? No, he's just a bit too far back to think about going wheel-to-wheel with Czech this time around. I'm sure Czech has firmly been looking in his mirrors, Lee, because Tiny has been all over him, looking to the left, to the right, in any which way he can.
Yep, he is desperate to get back, to get up into 3rd place. He's trying everything he can, and he's going to go up the inside at Stowe, just like XD Pro, and there was contact between Tiny and Czech there, and Czech ends up going off the track. Is Tiny going to be able to capitalise? No, he isn't. He's trying to use different lines in order to get a better launch out of Club, but it didn't work out there. So now he has to settle for that 4th place, still unable to get past Czech in that McLaren. And I think that has to do with Czech and XD Pro both being on the soft compound tyres, and they should start falling off quite soon. We could see a pit stop from XD Pro and Czech in the next couple of laps.
Well, the pit stop window should be opening now, Lee, and can you believe it or believe it not, we are so close to the halfway point of this race already. Where have those first 11 laps gone? It has been absolutely fantastic up to now. And they do say time flies when you're having fun, and me and Lee are certainly having fun commentating over this at the moment, as we've got a yellow flag flying in the first sector of turns 1, 2 and 3, and now green flags once again. But these 5 are not giving up, are they? The intensity has stayed the same ever since the lights went out on the start-finish straight around, 15 minutes ago.
Yep, none of them are giving up. And it's been overtaken by 2 for them again. This battle isn't good for either of them, as it's just making that gap between the top 5 and them a lot bigger. But right now they're still staying out. 2 for them, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
That is going to be a right bother, because that's going to increase the pit stop time to over 30 seconds then. So that'd be a lot of time lost in the pit. Hopefully he's able to get, if there is a safety car, then he can get it done then. Yeah. But right now, Fisher's making a move for the lead, going to have that inside line going into Brooklands. Is there going to be a switch back here? Nope, he manages to close that door right away. And now we're starting to see a few drivers jumping into the pits. And we could see quite a few hard tyres on now. Yes, we do. We've got Tay-Tay Lewis, Ryanair, Trucker and Jay. Recently went on the hard compound tyres over the past few laps.
And Fisher as well, he must be kicking himself to have had that time penalty so early on, Lee, because he must be just praying to the racing gods that the others behind him get the same penalty or more, as Tiny now gets past Czech finally after a good few laps of giving that a go, and he's up onto the rostrum as F1 Pro comes into the pits and getting off that soft tyre. He's trying an undercut. Will he go onto the mediums, Lee, or is he going to go onto the hard tyre? The hard tyre, obviously, more of a comfortable option just to make sure you have grip at the end, or is he going to go more aggressive and go onto the mediums? You're on board with that Williams as he goes into his pit box, and it's medium tyres for him to the end as we're at half distance.
Ooh.
They should last to the very end, and like I said a few minutes ago, Lee, we're now at half distance in this race. Where is that race? Where is that first half of the race gone?
Yeah, it's just went really quick to say the least. But XD Pro is managing to get out in clear air, so he's going to be able to close that gap quite nicely. He's got no one ahead of him, no one behind him. Well, not for about 3 seconds anyway. So he is nice and calm right now. And all he needs to do is get another, 3 seconds at most, and then he could make a good undercut there.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if someone like Czech decides to come into the pits this time around. Oh! Tiny's out! He's lost it on the straight. It's a safety car deployed. I have no idea how he's lost it there, Lee. I've got the live stream up. We'll be able to see it in just a second as we get the wrong thing come up there. Sorry about that. We get back into the session, as I said. Oh, I've done it again. Bear with me. Bear with me. I do apologise. Safety car deployed. Let's make sure we don't do that again. There we go. Safety car deployed. That's what's supposed to come up on your screen. Yeah. How is Tate lost it there? I'm going to have a look back and see what happened. As I've got the live stream in front of me. Oh, sorry, Tiny, yeah.
I think what may have happened, that may have been a technical issue with his wheel, most likely, because he just veered off to the left-hand side.
He did indeed,
so,
yeah.
Yeah,
gutting.
I'm unsure.
Gutting in his first race. That could have been a podium in his first race. But as you said, that is probably what's happened. Is a technical issue there.
Yeah, I'll go and see if I could get anything and find out.
We'll see if he'll give me a bit of a message as we've got. Fisherly just passed the safety car then. Luckily the safety car overtook him back again and he wasn't disqualified, but he's now sat behind the Aston Martin Vantage safety car as we've got others coming into the pits. Fisherly and Mal Dave gone on to the soft tyre. They should last to the end, seeing as Czech and I can't remember who the other one was now. Pitt. XD, yeah. Pitt on lap 13. So they should go to the end of the race. So, a few of the leading men in the championship, all women, are not here this evening. So it's a good opportunity for others who want to pick up a good amount of points, maybe close that gap to the leaders. This race is a massive chance, a great opportunity for them to close that gap. Obviously that's one of the factors in league racing. Obviously everyone can't attend every single race, like in WWR we have 16 races this season, and I'm sure there'll be a fair few. I'm sure there'll be a few that attend every single race, but the majority will not be able to attend every race. That is just life, unfortunately, as they do this as a hobby. Czech though now in second place, fresh on the mediums for him. Fisher leading the pack and will lead us back underway again once the safety car has ended. I can't imagine it will end on lap 15, Lee. I think it will probably be lap 16, since how far back Archie and Bucko are.
Yeah,
we've got another car around. Tate lost it at Club Corner. Is he going to be beached in the gravel here?
That is so confusing how he managed to lose it on the on a safety car.
Very strange. He's going to have to pit.
That was a bit unusual.
It was indeed. He's going to have to pit for a new front wing. Gives him an opportunity, though, to go onto a set of softs, which is probably what he should do, especially if he's got a fresh set of softs left available. If not, does he go for a new set of softs? Does he go for a fresh set of mediums, which he potentially could still have? But he's going to have to wait to get back around, and he's also got to pray, and I think I'm wrong here. I think the last man, Bexon, now coming out of the pits in the Aston Martin, will catch up to the back of the pack before the end of lap 15, so that is a huge mistake from Tate if that's the case, because he will be right at the very back with the safety car in, and they will be a huge distance down the road when he exits the pit lane.
Yeah, well, it's saying there's a 12-second gap between the two V-carbs there. 10 seconds now it's down to, so we could just see what the message is going to say. I think you're right, and I think we are going to end up getting started at the end of this lap.
Well, usually the rule of thumb is the safety car gives its notification at the end of sector 2, which is just about now, where the safety car is, but it won't let us know yet. As you can see in the background there are still some cars waiting to catch back up, but we will get the message now as Bexon has caught up to the back of the pack, and Tate is going to put his head in his hands and wonder how he made such a costly mistake. We're going to be back racing again on lap 16 with 11 laps to go, and I will not want to, nor could I even imagine to call who was going to win this race. And now
who's that off?
Is off as well. Is someone decided to put some butter on the circuit, a bit of Lurpak? What is going on here at Silverstone as Tate comes into the pits and we get back racing again with Ike Fisher? And the top two are both on the soft tyres. Ike Fisher, though, having that tyre penalty that he's had ever since lap 2, which could cost him dear when we see the checker flag in around 10.5 laps time as we go on to the first DRS straight. We don't have DRS just yet. That's not going to be until the next lap as we go down into Brooklands. Is anyone going to be eyeing up a move into Brooklands? Maybe Jay is on Dirty Taff in the Alpine as they go wheel to wheel through that corner, but it's not so much wheel to wheel, it's Jay ahead of Dirty Taff. He was much later on the brakes, much more confident on the brake pedal, but he also has the medium tyres, which is a step softer than Dirty Taff's hard tyres.
Yeah, we've only seen, 4 drivers on the soft tyres now. Dave Fisher's, Dirty Taffy getting a 3-second time penalty. We'll have a wee look at the penalty situation at the moment. So we've got Fisher's on 3 seconds, same as Jay, Dirty Taffy and Thatcher's and Bexon Boy all on the 3-second time penalties. We've got Trucker and Buckle on 6-second time penalties, and 2 for them for speeding in the pit lane has still got that 10-second penalty hanging over his head. Buckle and Thatcher side by side at Stowe, and now Buckle manages to get up into 14th place. Jay and Dirty Taffy swap places also, and Thatcher's managing to get past Mr. Formula 1 there. Jay looks like he could be lining up a move to be able to get back up into 12th place, or is he going to wait until DRS? It's going to be more, and Jay's literally pushing Dirty Taffy through the loop, and he's going to the inside at Aintree here. DRS open, and he's alongside, but by the time the DRS did open, and he's managed to move up into 12th place quite comfortably there. And Trucker managed to get past Operator as well, and Mr. Formula 1 getting past Thatcher's, but also getting a 3-second time penalty. And that's not going to be good. Of course, there's other drivers around him that have got penalties, so it's not going to be as bad on him. So there is always that.
So, as you said, DRS enabled on lap 17. Ike Fisher still leading, but having that 3-second time penalty. Chuck Norris getting past Wesy here down the hangar straight into Stowe corner. Are we going to see any more overtakes into Stowe? Doesn't look like it, but Bexham actually is overtaking his Aston Martin teammate into Stowe. As I said, there wasn't going to be any more overtakes. The Aston Martins proved me wrong. On to lap 18, 9 laps to go.
Yep, and Trucker right on the exhaust of Wezzy there for that 9th position. Buckle and Dirty Taffy swapping places there, and they're side by side at Farm there, and we could see the other RB of Buckle trying to get involved also. So both RBs on that Alpine battling it out, and that Alpine managing to do absolutely great there.
But Bucko going around the outside at Aintree, you don't see that all too often. Dirty Taff now trying to be even more defensive, as he has to be, on Mr. Formula 1, who started 20th in last and now up into 14th. His RB teammate just ahead of him, of course, in 13th place as well. But those guys towards the back, a lot of them have that black and white symbol next to their name on the standing chart, which means, of course, they have themselves some form of a time penalty. Best case scenario, you got 3 seconds. Worst case, you're looking at 10 plus seconds, as I can't get my words out, as we go down the Wellington straight, or the Hanger straight, sorry, getting my straights mixed up there, into Stowe Corner and on to lap 19. Fisher still leading, but as it stands, he would not be winning the race with that 3 second time penalty. Something caught your eye, Lee.
Yep, Mr. Formula 1 went up the outside of Bucko there, going into Stowe, and managed to overtake him and gain that 13th place. And I think that would be a bit of the wiser idea, as Mr. Formula 1 has only got a 3 second time penalty, so that'll give him a better opportunity over his teammate to be able to get some of them extra points that would be needed for the team. Right now, Wezzy and Trucker. Wezzy actually went wide and has lost 2 places. Operator getting a 3 second time penalty. First penalty of the day for him. Big walk up there from Chuck Norris going into Brooklands. That is going to end up buggering them tyres up a little. And he is on the medium compound, so wouldn't be as bad if it was on the hards, but on the mediums you're going to have to be a little bit more careful with them, as they do tend to wear down a bit quicker than the hards. Now looking at this battle here for the lead, Mildev just managing to stay within that DRS range. Not by much though. And we can see how powerful that DRS is, managing to get up by half a second on Fisher's there.
Very important.
Looking for the back, Ryan there in the Haas getting past Lewis, and the Operator getting past, and Wezzy getting past Trucker. What is he? Is he going to go for a move or be outside of Stowe on Operator? Looks like he's managed to, he's actually lost that place to Trucker again by going off the track, unfortunately. And is he going to lose another place to Jay? Nope, Jay's managing to just stick with him for the time being. Jay's got no one to worry about behind him, so he doesn't have to be looking in his mirrors anytime soon. There's 2.7 seconds to the car behind, which is Mr. Formula 1. We've seen big lockups there from Operator, I think that was, or Trucker, as they were going around the loop.
If we had the stats to know how many overtakes have been today, which we don't, unfortunately, I bet it will be in 3 figures now. There has been overtakes, multiple overtakes on every single lap. Wezzy on the outfield of Luffield, right around where the old track was at Bridge Corner, just where the museum is there, just to the left of your screen. He gets back on the circuit down in 15th place. Mal Dave, as you said, Lee, still just within reach of Fisher. That's so important. Not for Fisher, though. He wants them all to fall back so he can get a bit of a buffer and try and get a 3 second gap. But with the DRS helping others along, that has not been possible up to now. But this top 4 all fighting away, all within around 2 seconds of one another between the top 4 as it stands. And Ryanair having to look in his side mirrors with the bright red Ferrari right on his gearbox here. Is he going to go for a move into Village at turn 3? Doesn't look like he's close enough. He's going to wait for DRS on the next straight. And we're on that straight with the lead pack. or still biding their time. We're into that phase of the race, Lee, where I feel the top four are just going to start calming things down until they need to, it's a low to medium heat at the moment, and then we're going to get some high heat on towards the end, I think, and get the water bubbling over as 2-4 is off the track there, because they don't want to take too many risks at this point as we're getting into the final stages of the race. As you can see there, Trucker went wide off the circuit and went onto the gravel a little bit there, and that would have given him a warning for sure, with Jay right on his coattails going through Copse Corner. And as they exit there, as Jay moves up into 8th place.
Oh, looking at Czech, looking up for a move on the outside, Vale on Dave. Now turns to the inside, going into Club. He gets a little bit of a shake on the rear, and that is just enough to manage to let Mel Dave back through. But this is what Fishers is wanting. Now he's over a second ahead, and now he'll be able to pull away nice and easy, hopefully for him, if it does work out with these three battling it out for that second place for now. The gap to 1.2 seconds, 1.4 seconds, a second and a half now. Czech won't have that DRS. He does, sorry. It's Mel Dave who doesn't have the DRS.
Yeah, and he will be a sitting duck on the straight. And as I just said, they were a low to medium heat, but they've whacked that heat right up at the end of lap 21. And as you said, that's given Fisher a helping hand. Is he going to be, is he going to take this with both hands as we've got a yellow flag? We've got a safety car in the final few laps of the race, and that has changed the status quo of this race. I am sure that every single one of these drivers now are going to be coming into the pit lane, putting a set of soft tyres on, whether old or new. I am here, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was just breaking up a bit.
Had a little stream. Yeah, I had that a little bit for you now and again. But anyway, safety car deployed. Sorry if the audio's been a bit patchy throughout the stream. But one Williams and another stay out.
Both Williams staying out on soft and medium tyres. I think that actually may be a good call.
Really?
But then again, the safety car, of course. Oh
no!
Where's he?
Drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car for the Ferrari man, and Trucker 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's retired from the possession for some reason, and Wesley gets himself another drive-through penalty. We'll be sure to see him, I think, bow out of this race slightly early. But it's a Williams 1-2 in their home race, Lee.
Yeah, they're doing actually quite nice up to now. Chuck Norris actually up 10 places right now, but I don't think he pit just there. Having a look at tyres, no, the top three have not pit out, and same as Mr. Formula 1 and Archie.
Now, this should be a fantastic finish to the race. We've had to go on to lap 24. I think we'll be racing again on lap 25. We'll have DRS for one lap, would be my guess. All to play for. It's going to be hectic, dramatic, and I'm excited to see it with a couple of laps to go. As I said, everything's been thrown up in the air, especially in that sort of top five, Lee. Maybe arguably apart from Mr. Formula 1, who has decided to take track position. Now, starting in 20th place, Lee, I think he's made the right call here. With a couple of laps to go, he may be on for some very decent points.
Yeah, you could actually, for joining late and unfortunately not being able to set a time in qualifying, he's actually done really well up to now, and hopefully he could manage to keep it going through the last few laps. Of course, we're still waiting for Thatcher's, who's just coming through Brooklands and Oafield section now, so I think depending on how quickly they could get back, it just depends on if they're going to be able to catch up or not. They're actually here right now. Yeah, they're actually lobby. Archie still not here. He's actually not in the lobby, of course, but he's in spirit and soul. He's here. Unfortunately, body not. As I think it was the disconnection. It must have been, unfortunately.
Luckily for most of the grid, they're able to catch back up. Does Thatcher's? Did you say Thatcher's the only one not here?
Archie's not in the lobby.
Oh,
Thatcher's is. He's in 12th right now. Got back up to the pack.
He's got to get a wriggle on, hasn't he? Because it is going to end this lap. I can't see it doing one more lap than this. It will end this lap. Will he catch up? And he's got to do some form of qualifying style lap here to catch back up.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to need to get a move on, like you said. The safety car just coming up to Cop's corner right now. Thatcher's just coming through entry onto the Wellington straight now. I think he may just be able to catch up.
Yeah.
Of course, this could be an advantage to him, as his tyres will be nice and roasty toasty for him getting started. But obviously it's going to end up wearing him down a little, with him having to go at a higher speed and velocity through each corner.
Yeah.
Now he's just coming up to Cops, the safety car just coming into Chapel.
I think he will just catch up. I think he'll just catch up. Safety car in this lap, as we predicted. And the race leader, F1 Pro, deciding to go onto the grass, seeing how the gardening team at Silverstone's doing with with mowing the lawn here. So, 2 laps of racing. 1 lap with DRS to use to overtake or defend. Thatcher's has caught up to the back of the pack. We've got 15 of 16 as Archie isn't here. We've got 2 laps of racing to decide the winner of the 3rd round of 16 in WWR's Season 5 in the Lauda tier. We're going into the final couple of corners.
Yep, and that's him going.
Oh!
Oh, XD Pro! He put the overtake on. He put the overtake on too early before he hit the throttle, and that has messed him right up all the way down into place. Lewis is able to smell the vulnerability from that, getting the second time penalty. Chuck Norris now being passed by Fisher's on them soft tyres, and Fisher's just getting a penalty and checked, getting a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. That is not boding well. Mel Dave might actually walk away with the win here, depending on how things are going to go. All he needs to do is try and keep the gap between Fishers and Czech, who are all sitting on 13-second penalty and 10-second penalty.
Sorry, Lee. Jay now making contact with the back of F1 Pro after he overtakes Ryanair, and Ryanair gets back past him again out of Luffield corner. They're side by side through Woodcut, down the old start-finish straight. It's going to be side by side through through Cop's corner, and Jay is back up into 7th place. He said Czech and Fishers both have time penalties to their name. Mal Dave is leading the way. Fishers is going to go for this here because he's going to hope that others around him will get time penalties. Fisher takes the lead of the race into Stoke corner on the penultimate lap of this race,
God.
And it's all happening. We're not going to be able to keep up with every overtake that's going on.
No.
And F1 Pro into the pit lane here as he has, as I said, retired early on. He is frustrated with the mistake that he made as Fishers leads, and then it's Czech and Mal Dave. As it stands, Mal Dave will be winning the race here at Silverstone as we go into the loop. On the final lap, DRS enabled for the final time for 1 lap of racing as they open the rear wings now with those and that extra speed advantage. Fisher doesn't have the advantage to his name here. What is Mal Dave going to do? Just try and hold on to the back of these two, take minimal risks, and just know that when the classification comes in, he will have won the race. Let's see, with only half a lap to go as we go into Cop's corner, as Fisher trying to get as big of that maybe the race will come to him with only a few corners to go. Jay, though, has a time penalty as well. Ryanair behind him does not. It's going to be interesting to see who takes that final step on the podium. Czech goes into the race lead on the final lap into Stowe Corner, and it's so close between iFishers and Maldave. Maldave just needs to stay within that 3 seconds around the final couple of corners into Club Corner. Czech sees the checker flag first, then iFisher, but Maldave wins the British Grand Prix. Lewis finishes in second. Ryanair takes the third place position. It's 3 different constructors on the podium here at the British GP, and that was an absolutely excellent race, and arguably, Lee, I think that was one of the best races we have ever commentated on in around 3.5 years. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. That was overtakes every single lap. Jay there getting driver of the day, I think that is fair. Especially in that last stint there on the last on lap 25, you went up past, I think it was four or 5 cars in that one lap just in sector 2 alone. So it was absolutely spectacular. There we go, we've seen iFishers, Lewis and Ryanair all on the podium. Czech got the fastest lap, a 1:27.955. Maldave getting that win there. Then we had Lewis in second, Ryanair in third, Chuck Norris was fourth, 2 form, and Haas was fifth. Jay in sixth there, up from 11th place there. Chuck Norris actually up from 13th place, so really good result from him. Czech in 7th, unfortunately not having the best with having that time penalty. Operator in third, in 9th, sorry, in 10th was Tate, then Fishers in 10th. Then we had Bexon Boys, Buckle, and Mr. Formula 1, and Thatcher's down in P13. Then we had Archie and XD Pro both down a couple of laps. Wezzy, Trucker, Dirty Taffy, and Tiny did not finish the Grand Prix. So, like you said, absolutely smashing race there.
I don't think we could have asked for much better. I don't think we could have asked for much better than that, to be honest. It was, if we'd have had some mixed conditions, maybe throw that in. That may have made it a bit better. But in terms of a dry race, as I don't think you're going to get much better than that. Anyway, Lee, on to next week. We're going to be in China for next week, so really good racetrack next week again. Belgium the week after that. Spain the week after. That's in 3 weeks' time. And I'm just going to have a quick look, Lee, because even though we're on live stream, I'm going to potentially say this. Potentially, get ready, guys. Potentially, you might hear Lee. Wait there, what are we looking at? Silverstone. Is round 7 the round, Lee, where I'm at a festival? Because what was round 7, Lee? Monaco. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Monaco, mate. You're going to be doing that all on your Todd. So Lee is absolutely going to love that one. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Yeah, we'll be back next week for China. Hopefully you've enjoyed the race. We certainly did. It was absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you guys will all subscribe to the channel that it's now on, All About Racing. We'll have a couple of other league races coming very soon from different leagues, so keep an eye out for that. Until next week at 8 o'clock, hopefully we'll be talking about England winning the European Championships next week, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Thanks very much for watching. Keep subscribing to the channel, and we'll hope to see you back next week in China. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.